हरि ओम, नमस्ते।
नमस्ते।
सर्वं कुशलं किम्? तर्हि महान् सन्तोषः पुनरपि अस्माकं मेलनं भवति इति। तर्हि अत्र बहवः जनाः सन्ति. So there are already quite a few people who have come online. So I'd like to say namaste to M. Prasad Mahodaya. Swagatam for today's session, and I hope you're going to enjoy it as much as we will. Anantaram atra asti RVS Choudry Mahodaya, Dhanyavada, Hyderabad. So I will invite you to kripaya swasya parichayam kurvantu. Please introduce yourself and say where you are from so that the entire group can connect with each other at different parts of the world. Astu. So Choudry Mahodaya, namaste. Vednaranji, namaste. Mahan santoshaha punarapi melanena. Very happy to know that you are there as part of the session. Then I have RN Prasad ji from Bangalore. So I hope you can all see me. We have started the session. We have Shankar Nambiar ji, namaste, namaste. Piyushaha api atra asti.
नमस्ते।
Namaste.
सर्वं कुशलं किम्? आशं करोमि सर्वं कुशलम् अस्ति।
Astu. Tari atra Sundar Mahodaya, namaste. I hope your examination process was completed successfully, finally. So where did that go? Yeah. So here I have again here Sundarji, Piyush Mahoday, namaste. Vednaranji Mahoday vadati, Shankar Nambiar ji, Bhavatyaha astu. Rohini Venugopal ji, namo namaha. Arye Piyushascha, Dhanyavada. Has the session started? Session arabdham asti. I hope you can all see us live. Astu. So now who else have I got here? Yes. Satyasai Shri Lakshmi Bhagini, namo namaha. And Sundarji, same for me. Astu. Sundarji, sarvam kushalam, uttamam. Happy to know that your problem has been resolved. Shankar Namyanji, bhavatyaha nirdishtam pustakam rupa chandrika kritavan aham uttamam. Tarhi tad labhaya bhavati iti asham karomi. Anantaram Nati Bhagini, namaste. Venezuela taha, Val Bhagini api namaste. Val Bhagini eva asti. Aniruddha Das Gupta Mahodaya, namaste. Piyush Mahodaya cha. Padma Ramani Mata, Hari Om. Bangalore taha, namaste. Jean-Jacques Joubert, namo namaha. Bhavan kutaha, where are you from? D'où venez-vous? So if you could kindly also let us know where you're joining us from. Rohini Venugopal, Navi Mumbai, Uttamam Bhagini, Swagatam. Atra Santosh Mahodaya, namo namaha. Mama nama Sina. Okay, Thane Nagare Vasami, Uttamam. Tari, one of the other reasons for asking you to also mention where you are from is to see if there is any way that you can maybe connect amongst yourselves as well. So we have started the WhatsApp group. So all of you, those who are interested to be part of this Sanskrit family, Parivara, more than Swagatam, the more the merrier. Sanskrita Sambhashanasya Abhyasasya cha avasaraha bhavati. Yadi sandeha bhavanti, you can get them clarified. Shantanu Mahodaya has been very active amongst many others also. So bahu dhanyavadaha for that. And then we have Anuradha Dasgupta Mahodaya from Dasgupta from Kolkata. Mahodaya Uttamam, Swagatam. Ahamapi Kushalismi Astu, Uttamam. Nati Bhagini Torres Caracas, Venezuela taha, Satyam Ankur Srivastav Mahodaya, namo namaha. And from UP BTech MBA, Uttamam. Nambiar Mahodaya, Bahu Uttamam Pustakam. Oh, Mahan Santoshaha, Labhaya Yadi Bhavati. So you have done this course of spoken Sanskrit with me here. But then there are many other avenues also that you could explore if you want to take the study further. So Sanskrit Bharati has a wonderful 4-level correspondence course. Dr. Sampadananda Mishra offers some very interesting Sanskrit weekends in Pondicherry as part of the Sri Aurobindo Society. So that's another place that you can look up to see how you can continue with some of your studies. And they have some Sanskrit, there are certain Sanskrit radios like Divya Vani that you can look up for further study there. Anantaram Bahu Uttamam Pustakam, Rajkumar Muru Mahoday, Coimbatore Swagatam. I am from Canada but live in India presently. Uttamam. Where are you based, Mahodaya? Valerie Guevara. Astu Bhagini Asti. Okay, your sister. Namaskar, Rajkumar from Coimbatore. Astu, Uttamam. So, Aruna Gorti, bit later. Oh, Chintamastu, Swagatam. Swagatam. Same as Jean-Marc, I am his wife, Uttamam, Mahan Santoshaha. Mahan Santosha Bhagini. Kutra Asti, where are you based in India? Bhavatyaha Griham Kutra Asti. Astu. So, just a few things that I wanted to mention is, I think I can start here. Mama Nama Ankuraha, Swagatam, Namo Namaha Manas Mahodaya. So, what I would also like to, now that we have a brief introduction of those present on the session, I would like to invite you to share about any challenges you might have faced in the course of your study, and if there is anything that I can help you with, because some of you are going to be taking the exams. So, if there is any kind of clarification, I was wanting to do kind of an exercise with you today to give you some tips on how you can go about identifying the answers more easily in the for the exams. So, that is something that I would like to take you through today. Video is good, sound could be a bit louder of the video. My voice, we will try and work on that. Yes, try and increase the sound. I hope it is better now. Yeah, Kripaya, Choudry Mahodaya, please let me know if the sound is a little better. Has it improved? Okay. So, as part of this live session, I just wanted to hear from you about whether you found the sandhis helpful. Was there anything that you still need any questions, if you have any doubts about? Sandhi Puttamapi Udghate Anantaram Sandhi. Astu. So, looking forward to hearing from you. We have been looking at, so in this entire course, so what is going to come in your in the course of for the exam is going to be really the Shabda Rupas, but this is a thing that I'd like to mention here because there is one word which has been a little tricky. So, as part of the Akara Strilinga words, I have been mainly talking about, we've used the word Amba as an example for all the for the Strilinga Akara words, but I also recently, I mean, I had heard of it before, but it had slipped my mind to mention it during the course of our study, is that the word Amba in the vocative case. So, please note this, the word Amba in the vocative or the Sambodhana, it does not become Ambe always. So, in classical Sanskrit, it becomes Amba, Hey Amba. In Vedic Sanskrit, you do find references to Ambe, and you also have Jagadambe is one word that you would come across, but the classical grammar looks at Amba as Amba, Hey Amba, and that is an important clarification to make for you, especially because I have used this word as a representative of the Akara Strilinga. So, the Akara Strilinga words like Lata, Mahila, etc. would necessarily get an A. So, Hey Mahile, Hey Latte, Hey Anuradhe. There is no alternative on that, there is no option on that. Whereas, if you are taking the word Amba, then in the vocative it will become Hey Amba in classical Sanskrit. So, just a quick note on classical and Vedic Sanskrit. So, Vedic Sanskrit is really that Sanskrit which is which has been used in the Vedic literature, which means the Samhitas, the Brahmanas, the Aranyakas and the Upanishads. So, that entire literature is regarded as the Vedic literature, and the later literature is what evolved as the classical Sanskrit. And a lot of the rules like Panini's Ashtadhyayi and all, while they do look at the Vedic Sanskrit where There are certain exceptions that are made in terms of grammar. The grammar is a little more free. The upasargas are not necessarily always connected to the word that they are combining with. The upasargas sometimes stand independently, and there are few other grammatic allowances in Vedic Sanskrit which have got more systematized with classical Sanskrit, and therefore what we have learnt is really the classical Sanskrit aspect. Tari atra Aniruddha Dasgupta Mahodaya vadati that the sixth week was difficult related to various dhatu rupas. So what I'd like to assure you is that the dhatu rupas were introduced primarily with the objective of helping you understand that even the verbs are not random, because you see, if you're doing a verb like pathati, pathataha, pathanti, and I give you another word like dadati, so typically, because we have also been talking of the extrapolative aspect of Sanskrit. So if you have a particular form, a particular grammatical form for a particular word, I have told you that it is possible to extrapolate it and apply it in different contexts. But then, so if I told you, if I gave it the word pathati and then I gave you the verb dadati, very typically you would do dadati, dadati, pathati, patataha, dadataha and dadanti or dadanti, but that is not what would happen. So it becomes dadati, dattaha, dadati. Why does that happen? Because dadati belongs to a particular group of verbs. So it is important to understand which group that particular verb belongs to, which then helps you to know the conjugations. But Sambhashita Sanskritartham, what really matters is how much you practice. Astu. So it is true that that week 6 was heavy in terms of the multiple forms of the verbs, new kinds of verb forms, and therefore Satyam, it could have been a little difficult. But I would suggest that don't take, at least learn up the common verbs, like the common verbs like janati, shaknoti. So a lot of verbs that I have given you in every group are common words. So even if you take one verb, make a few sentences in the different tenses, etc. That would help. And the Atmanepadam has been introduced because you would encounter it in literature. So if you didn't know of that form of conjugation, then you would be left a little bit in the lurch. So the reason why I have introduced Atmanepadam is so that you are familiar with an alternative form of conjugations as well. Astu. So abhyasam kurvantu, in terms of application, I would really encourage you to make sentences. Sambhashanam kurvantu. So just even karoti, the verb karoti is not the regular verb, and therefore it is not so easy for you to, I mean, if you just go by the regular, again, patati, patata, patanti, and karoti, it should have been karoti, karotaha, karonti, but it doesn't become that, it becomes kurvanti. So there are certain important verbs that belong to different groups that are important to know. Astu. Manas Mahoday vadati mama krite dhvani tivrata samyak asti uttama mahan santoshaha. Sundarji, laghu guru meaning. Okay. So laghu is normally a short note. So if you have a verb like, if you have a verse like yada yada hi dharmasya, I just take that much. So you have yada. So the laghu guru has to do with the number of matras in the length of the vowel in a composition. So if you have ya, da is a long vowel. So the long vowel is the guru and the short vowel is the laghu. So laghu guru is this kind of a long, short and long vowels, the long syllables in a composition, in a verse composition. And in that, so very typically a short, a laghu would be all the short vowels, so a, I, U, and then the rest of them are typically long ones where you so a, I, U, R, L. Okay, these are the short ones, and the longer ones would be a, I, U, and also the ones that have a combined with half a consonant. So asti, as is a guru because it is a plus half of the other one. Astu. So this is an important one to understand. Next, Kahasti, I am very much fascinated by your way of teaching. Anuradha ji, dhanyavada, bahu dhanyavada. prayatnam karomi to make it as interesting and accessible. So I have tried to share with you the way I experience the language and enjoy the language. Tari sambhashanam tatra bahu mukhyam asti. And like I said about the grammar, it is that I'm also not going to be very perfect necessarily always in my grammar. So it has happened that in the course of my speaking, I might have made a few errors, but kindly excuse me, because Sambhashita Sanskritam really demands that you pay 100% attention, and for whatever reason, if the mind has been not there exactly at that moment, there can be a slip. But that should be the last reason why you don't try to speak it, because there is great fun in trying to get it right. It's like a living, puzzle that you try and solve in your head. As you're thinking, you're doing all this computing. Mahan anandaha bhavati, doshaha bhavanti eva, but chinta mastu, tat mukhyam nasti. So don't be worried about making mistakes. So tadasti. Anantaram gunini. Guni is gunin, the word gunin, which is just like the word yogin, etc. So just like the word yogin in the masculine becomes yogi, in the feminine it becomes yogini, and that is the prathama vibhakti. Astu yogini dhyanam karoti, for example. Yogi dhyanam karoti, purushaha dhyanam karoti, yogini dhyanam karoti, mahila yogini dhyanam karoti. So guni is one who, gunin is one who possesses gunas, good qualities. So guni pullinge asti, gunini strilinge asti, and gunini would be a strilinga prathama vibhakti, ekavachanam. Astu. So tadasti, Padma Bhagini. Vartate means to be. Vidyate, vartate, all of them are equivalent of asti or bhavati. So they are more or less synonymous. Vartate means it is moving, it exists. Iti arthaha. Astu. Will there be questions related to the subhashitas and shlokas which you have taught us in various lessons in the final exams? So what if at all there might be, it would be related to grammar rather than a memorization thing, because the verses were also used, the subhashitas were used as samples of the lessons that were taught. So therefore you might encounter, I don't have all the papers readily in my head, but you might encounter maybe a phrase from a subhashita where a grammar would be asked. So some grammatic question might be related to that. Anantaram Prasad Mahodaya Abhavat, love his style of articulating difficult grammar rules in tabular form. Is there any reason you have dropped out the text of the Sambhashanam? It would have helped to refer and analyze them later. I agree. Tarhi, it is true that initially when we were doing the Sambhashanams, I would accompany it with a written component, which would have been easier. Then I think there was also a matter of, the fact is, I think it's a bit of a pedagogical approach also. The approach that I took on is that sometimes there can tend to be a dependence on something written, which is a different kind of an attention than if you are just listening and you're trying to capture the grammar and the meaning. It is a different faculty at work. So I would say that was also partly the reason, but the other reason also could have just been a time factor, and therefore to give you an opportunity. But I was encouraging people on WhatsApp also to try to rewrite by yourselves. That in itself would be a good exercise. So as you're listening, you're rewriting. If you find errors, which are possible, it would be great for you to be able to, as you're rewriting, as you're transcribing these, if you're able to say that, okay, now maybe there's something missing here, and you write to us, and we'll be more than happy to respond to that. Besides that, these texts will be transcribed. So in the transcription, you will be getting the written format of what is being said. So it will lack of my analysis of the Sambhashana, but you will get access to the material in a written format as well in a short while. Astu. It would have helped. Satyam. Tari Santosh Mahoday, I would encourage you to try writing it up yourself and seeing what, or just seeing how much you are able to grasp directly from the spoken Sanskrit. Because after all, eshaha vargaha sambhashana sanskritasya vargaha asit mukhyataya. So this class did have a focus on spoken Sanskrit rather than just the written Sanskrit. So that was an opportunity to really be able to focus your attention on catching the grammar of this language as it is articulated. Astu. Govinda Kannan Mahodaya Vadati, it was difficult for me to read the small letters shown in the various background colors in the charts. I think it may be due to my personal deficiency. No, that your point is noted, sir. It's it's just that when we were trying to put in a lot of information in one slide, then I was forced to sort of reduce the size a little bit. But then if you have registered, you would have access to the PowerPoint presentations, and that's somewhere that you can expand it and look at. So you could look at the video, and you could also keep the PPT beside you to be able to match the charts as they are being taught. That is an option. In case you haven't registered and would like to get more information, please write to us and we will be happy to send you the PowerPoint presentation. So this course is really there for everybody to study. So if you at any time feel that I'd like to have access, feel free to write to me and I will be happy to help you. Astu. Gunini is which vibhakti? Prathama vibhakti asti bhagini. Strilinga pada ikara anta strilinga pada asti. So it's a feminine word ending with an e. It's a typical ikara anta feminine word ending with in the prathama vibhakti ekavachanam. Gunini asti, gunini gayati, gunini vadati, etc. Shankar Nambiar Mahoday, akka ekah samshaya sarvebhyo namaskara, sarvesham namaskara dvau api sadhu va amam kushalinau dhanyavadaha. Kaha samshaya asti iti prichhatu. Confusion still exists between, acha, tari please ask and I will answer that. So Choudry Mahodaya vadati, confusion still exists between Atmanepadi and Parasmaipadi. Satyam, confusion bhavishyati. So if you could articulate what your confusion is, it would make it easier for me to reply to that. But if I understand you correctly, it is just the fact that it would suffice for you to understand that verbs can have two kinds of, there is a categorization, there is a classification of the verb conjugations. There are some verbs that are exclusively Parasmaipadi, which means that the ending in the Vartamana Kala and the other ones. So in the Vartamana Kala typically would be Vadati, Vadattaha, Vadanti. So moment you see an E in the Vartamana Kala for the verb, it means it will be a Parasmaipadi. And then you also have in the Atmanepadi, the verb will typically, so Vandate or Vartate will typically be a Vartate.
Vartate.
Vartate, Vartete and Vartante. So the moment you see the A endings, typically it would tend to be a Atmanepadi. But there are two separate forms that you have to learn, and there are some verbs that can go both ways, okay, that can be in the Parasmaipadi as well as in the Atmanepadi. Astu. Like we had the verb milati, so milati and we had milate. There would be a difference of connotation, like milati would be more an outward kind of a thing for the others. That's why it's Parasmaipadi, and milate would have more to do with yourself and with maybe something to do with some action directed towards yourself. Naiva evam eva bhavati. Astu. Atra anyat kim asti. Mangala Girishji, in exam the quotation in English will be asked. Naiva, no. English quotation na bhavati. Astu. So don't worry about that. That was really to inspire us to continue our studies with Sanskrit in its depths. Astu. Anantaram Padma Ramani Bhagini Vadati. I understand the importance of topics covered. It was a little heavy as the tenure is very short. Astu. Astu. Probably one of the reasons for doing that is because this content will be available online for all times to come. So, and it was also the intermediate level course, which meant that it would have a little more, and it was a 20-hour course. So, it's natural that there would be a little more. But like I said, one of the things could be that one of the ways in which the content could be made more accessible could be the attempt to try and identify these patterns across the words. So, if you put your focus on recognition of patterns, then the extent of memorization and all would be significantly lesser. Astu. Tari Sundar Mahodaya vadati that I will try to write out the text for the Sambhashanam in WhatsApp. Uttamam. Kripaya karotu. So, I would suggest what would be great is in WhatsApp, or if it opens up as a discussion in the forum, it would be great if one person, so if there can be a division of things, and if we can have maybe 5 people or 20 people who say, okay, you know, we are going to do these Sambhashanams are pending, and maybe we can each divide it up and do it, then it will be a collective effort. Everybody will get an opportunity to transcribe as well as to analyze the grammar. Uttama abhyasaha bhavishyati. So, if you can do that, it would be a great practice for the exams to come. Astu. Anantaram Aruna Bhagini vadati kripaya tvam adhikam abhyasaha dadatu. Astu. Katham dadami danim, because the class is over right now. So, what I would suggest is that even if you look at the tables, the tables are actually quite heavy, information intensive. So, if you are just use the tables to make many sentences, because it has multiple options. So, if you just take any one table and do all the permutations and combinations, you can easily make at least 20 to 30 sentences per table at least. Astu. So, I would suggest you can do that, but if you want further information and help, I can try and see how we can do it for you. But what I would also recommend you to do is, if you can please, if you can get hold of that Speak Sanskrit the Easy Way, it's an excellent, there are fantastic exercises in that. Or you have the Rashtriya Sanskrit Sansthan's book on Sandhya Kala Vargaha, they had done. Or even if you get hold of the course of Sanskrit Bharati, they've got some excellent exercises to do. Next, kaha vadati, Nambyar Model ring lakarasya prayogaha kashtam anubhavami. Evam va, etad mama priya lakara asti kinchit. Karanam etasya upayogaha, so the use of the ring, kriyati patil ring, it is true that bahu sahajam nasti, it's not used very often. But again, the reason I introduced it is because you were already familiar with the Bhavishya Kala, which is the ling, and then you were already familiar with the lang or the anadyatana bhuta, and so this was just one step beyond, I thought, where you put it together. So, yadi itopi kalaha abhavishyat aham itopi abhyasam akarayishyam. Astu. So, if there was a little more time, so that if then, which means that this always has to be in a conditional mode of, if this would happen, then that would happen. Astu. Tari atra sentence, is the sentence correct? Ka kim vakyam? Aruna Bhagini, I did not get your sentence. Oh, kripaya tvam adhikam abhya, to astu uttamam. So, you said kripaya tvam. The moment you start a sentence with tvam, that tvam is the subject, immediately you have to associate the verb with that. So, the verb and the tense or the mood. So, you have the mood that you have used is the ajna, dadatu. Okay. So, the moment you say dadatu, it means that the subject would have to be saha, sa, tat or bhavan or bhavati. In this case, because you are addressing me and bhavat, and it's a feminine, a formal prathama vibhakti, it would be bhavati kripaya abhyasaha dadatu, you have said. So, abhyasa, the moment you have abhyasaha, it means that abhyasaha is the subject, is the karta in the sentence, which it is not. Kim dadatu? So therefore, the answer is abhyasa dadatu, but abhyasa is the object in the sentence. So therefore, it will become abhyasam dadatu. Uttamam. Tari kripaya bhavati abhyasam dadatu. Adhikam abhyasam dadatu. So that will have to be the dvitiya vibhakti there. Okay, the karma will have to be brought into that context. And the other option with the subject, the pronoun is that kripaya tvam, if you want to do adhikam abhyasam dehi. Alright. So, like I said, it's a different kind of a verb conjugation, you have to know it. Sorry, kripaya tvam adhikam abhyasam dehi, etc. So, lring lakarasya Shankar Mahoday vadati lring lakarasya prayoge kashtam anubhavami astu. So, that I sort of explained to you. Santosh Mahoday vadati dhanyavadaha avashyam prayatnam karomi. Uttamam, mahan santoshaha. Punar Shankar Nambyar Mahoday vadati at will these videos be available for me even after the course is completed? So all these videos, the first course, which was Introduction to Basic Spoken Sanskrit, the intermediate level of spoken Sanskrit, all these videos are available on YouTube for free. The only thing is that if you want to do a certification program, then you would be required to enroll for the courses and write the exams as required. Astu. Otherwise, it is all these videos are there for your available for your study and learning. Astu. Idanim Padma Bhagini vadati, how do I join the WhatsApp group? Padma Bhagini, are you part of the course? If you are a part of the course, do send your phone number on WhatsApp. Do send your phone number on the forum. So if you send your phone number on the forum, isn't that Piyush? Piyush is the administrator for the WhatsApp group. So maybe if you want to tell how they can do it.
If you send your number in forum, I can add you.
Astu.
Or I can put my email here. You can take and mail me.
Astu. So we'll also share our email addresses, and that can make it easier for you to also send your number. Astu Bhagini, Padma Bhagini, I hope that is we've answered your question. How do you identify Strilinga, Pullinga, Klibalinga, Shabda? Is Klibalinga or Napunsakalinga? So Klibalinga and Napunsakalinga are the same thing. So in the Bengal region, they tend to say more of Klibalinga, which means the neuter, which is what more in North India and in South India you would tend to say Napunsakalinga, but it means the same thing, it means the neuter gender. How to identify Strilinga and Pullinga? An excellent question. So when we have the simpler words like the Akaranta words, so the Akaranta words are easy, they would generally be masculine. So you can have Akaranta Pullinga and Akaranta Napunsakalinga word, that's where you need to know. So one way of identifying the difference of gender is if you know the rupas. So the best way to know is to have a practice of the form. So if you say the word mitra, for example, is an akara word. Now is it a pullinga word? Does it become mitraha or does it become mitram? So one easy way to try and remind yourself of the gender is to look at the bahuvachanam, which would be mitrani. So the moment you see mitrani, you know, if you remember, so you have to make one sentence to register that, and then that would help you. Similarly, we have also introduced the ukaranta. The Strilinga words are much easier because you have the a ending and the e ending, the simpler ones. But then for a ending, there is a bit of a tricky situation. You have words like pita or data, but they are not Strilinga words because the root is datru and pitru, and they become data and pita. So that's why with these words it's always helpful to know at least one or two forms other than the karma form alone. Other than the prathama vibhakti, it really helps to know a few more words, a few more forms even in the pullinga. So if you just see a word in a text, it's not very easy always to identify, except for the fact that in a text when you encounter a word, that word would be associated with certain adjectives. Those adjectives can give you a clue whether it's a masculine word or a feminine word or a neuter word. Astu. So I hope I have given you some hints. It cannot be the answer, the exact, I mean it cannot be a very precise answer, because there are so many possibilities. So like the ukara, ikara, short ikara are there in all. Some words have the short, and like the word tanu, it has the short tanu, it also has the tanu. Strilinga padam ukara asti, but it can be of both kinds. So there are permutations and combinations possible. Ataha kinchit gabhira jnanam avashyakam bhavati. So here I have Prasad Mahodaya vadati, the verbs which can be conjugated in both Parasmayapadi as well and Atmaneva, so can we use them interchangeably in conversation? Are using any of the forms incorrect, correct in conversation? So yes, pretty much. So pujayati, pujayate, both are there.
Parasmayapadi means for the sake of
the other person.
Others, or for the sake of yourself, it is Atmanepadi. For example, Brahmanah Rajahitaya Jajati. Brahmanah Atmahitaya Yajate.
That's
Yajate.
That is. So this is something, so that's what this, the difference of Parasmayapadi and Atmanepadi is this, that the Parasmayapadi actions are always directed towards the others. The Atmanepadam verbs would be directed towards oneself. So the verbs that are Ubhayapadi, that would be the difference. But talking about the meaning, you can either use asti or vartate and they would be synonymous. Astu? Piyusha? Satyam. So, atra itopi prashna asti. Prasad Moday, Lakshmi Bhagini, Hari Om, can you please help in explaining when half ma or an alphabet comes like in Sambhashanam, or half an alphabet comes? Sambhashanam. Asu, I would have to write that out for you, Mangalagirisha. So, for example, so when you have a nasal sound in the middle of a word, it would tend to become the nasal of the group of the word that follows it, okay, of the letter that follows it. So, if for example, I do Sambhashanam, the letter that follows the makara or the anunasika is the bha. So, the ma will have to be the half ma of that group. So, pa, pa, ba, bha, ma. So, sam, half, bhashanam. So, important difference with Hindi is that in Hindi, if you're writing a word, you don't necessarily pronounce the entire word. So, if you have a word like yoga, which is a very popular word today. So, yoga is y, consonant y plus the vowel o plus the consonant g plus the vowel a. So, yoga. Astu. So, if you're writing it that way in Sanskrit, you would have to pronounce it completely like that. Whereas in Hindi, you don't necessarily, you don't often in fact pronounce the last vowel. So, yoga, a full word ga will be pronounced as yog. Astu. And that tends to, that could be a source of confusion at times. So, I hope I have answered that. Then, atra prashna asti, atra an exam quotation will be asked, tishtatu. So, I hope I have explained the ma, and the other thing to understand is that at the end of the word, when you have a ma, then when do you put an anuswara and when do you put a ma halant? That is an important question. So, the answer is that if the letter following the anuswara, the nasal sound is a consonant, then it will have to become an anuswara. So, if I say balakam vadami, so balakam, the at the end, the nasal at the end will have to be an anuswara. But if I say balakam ahvayami, which is to call, so balakam ahvayami, so a is a vowel and therefore you would have to put the half ma. So balakam ahvayami, balakam ahvayami is what would happen when you do the sandhi as well. So balakam ahvayami, so the half ma plus the a becomes a ma in that case. Astu. The other place where you put a ma halant is at the end of the word, at the end of the sentence. If your sentence ends with a ma halant, ends with a ma, then it will be a ma halant. Astu. So, atra next kim asti? You can end. Can you please explain the half ma? Lakshmi Bhagini, I hope that has been clear. Mangala Girish Bhagini Vadati, you can send PDF worksheets in WhatsApp, as there will not be scoring. We can collectively discuss and do any difficult exercises. Worksheets in can also be given. Astu Chintayama. My questions are recorded in the Google Forms.
Which question?
शान्तनु महोदयस्य प्रश्नः गूगल् फार्म्स् मध्ये सन्ति, तर्हि गूगल् फार्म्स् उद्घाटय। आमां शान्तनु महोदय तत्र पश्यामः। अस्तु, स्वागतं भवतः अत्र अस्मिन् सदस्ये। अहम् इदानीं विल् जस्ट् लुक् एट् युर् क्वेश्चन्स् एण्ड् आन्सर् देम्। अत्र गोविन्द कन्नन् महोदय वदति, थैंक्स फॉर ऑफर टू हेल्प। मंगला गिरीश भगिनी वदति, फॉर दीस् कॉन्जुगेशन्स् कैन वी हैव मोर प्रैक्टिस शीट्स? अस्तु, विल डेफिनेटली लुक एट दैट। Aniruddha Dasgupta ji vadati, I did not understand the difference between Kriyati Patil ring and Vidhiling. Vidhiling has the possibility of something actually happening. So, Shwaha Vargaha Bhavet, which means that there is a bit of a doubt, but there is a possibility that it can still happen. Shwaha Yadi Vrishtihi Nasti Tari Vargaha Bhavet. So, if there is no rain, then there is a good chance that the class will happen. So, the Vidhiling tends to give this possibility with a not a probability, but there is a chance of it actually happening. The Kriyati Patil ring, on the other hand, means that that is over. It's a past. It was a possibility in the past, but it never really happened. So, like I said, Yadi Vrishtihi or Varsha na abhavishyat tarhi vargaha abhavishyat. So, if there was Yadi Vrishtihi or Varsha na apatishyat, okay. So, Yadi Varsha na abhavishyat is better. So, if there was no rain, then there would have been a class. Yadi Vrishtihi na abhavishyat tarhi vargaha abhavishyat. So, if there was no rain in the past, then there would have been a class. So, it's something that is over, but there was a possibility if the circumstance was different, and that is what the conditional is all about. Whereas in the Vidhiling, which is the optative, there is a chance of that actually happening still. So, yadi samyak pathati tarhi parikshayam samyak likhet. So, if he studies well in the now, then he might write well. So, the might idea is is what the Vidhiling really also represents. Astu. So, I hope I have clarified that for you. Padma Bhagini is saying that, okay. Mangala Girish Mode Vadati, similarly for several tenses and moods also. Astu, we will try and look at that and share. Mitra also means son, Satyam, 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 Satyam. Pullinga then, Om Mitraha, Satyam, Satyam, Satyam. So, the word in general means, in general is the, when you are talking of it as a friend, then it is a Napunsakalinga word, but as a Om Mitraha, it becomes a masculine word. Astu. So, Anantaram Piyush Maude Namaste Vadati. Astu. Shubham doesn't have half ma. So, I am confused when to use verb. What would you mean by Shubham doesn't have half ma? Shubham would have a half ma, na? Where Lakshmi Bhagini, if you abhyasa, sorry, I mean like abhyasam has half bha. Lakshmi Bhagini, I am not very sure I have got your question. So, request you to kindly elaborate on that. Anja King and Vidhiling, differences are not. Ajna and Vidhiling, differences are not. So, Ajna is very clear. Ajna is, it is either a request or an order. Karotu, gachatu. Vidhiling has that he may do it. Saha kuryat, syat, karyam na syat. So, it has that ambiguity. There is a bit of an uncertainty, may be, may not be, might. So that kind of ambiguity exists in the Vidhiling, whereas in Ajna is a very definite, it's very directive, ha gachatu, khadatu, patatu. Now whether it's an order or a request depends on the tone. So if somebody says gachatu, it doesn't sound like a request, so it would be a very strict order. But if somebody says kripaya gachatu, that is a request. Okay. So Ajna is definitive, whereas the Vidhiling, I mean, I am giving you a simpler software kind of an answer to this, where it is the Vidhiling can be understood as a possibility which can happen, but because it is a possibility, there is it may be, it might be kind of a usage with the Vidhiling. Dhanyavada for the clarification. Astu uttamam. So what I was just thinking is that I will take the opportunity here to just show you something in the for the exams, some easy tips for you to follow for the exams. So here I have, if you can see the screen, so if you can see the screen, I have a few sentences. So I thought I'll just help you to see how to answer them. Astu. So like if you have a question like identify the wrong sentence, so you have pachakaha pathashalayam pachanti. So you have to know the wrong sentence. So how do you go about it? First of all, you have to see who the subject is. So the moment you have pachakaha, you have to identify, okay, first thing is that pachakaha automatically implies that it is pullinga bahuvachanam and prathama vibhakti. So the moment you see a bahuvachanam there, for the verb it would not matter whether it is pullinga or a strilinga or an napunsakalinga word. So again going back to the screen, so pachakaha implies it is bahuvachanam, and so the first thing you do is you look at the verb pachanti. So you know that pachakaha pachanti, okay, the subject and the verb are matching. Then you look at the other cases that are there. So kutra pachanti pakashalayam, okay, so this is correct, so that's not going to be the answer. Next one, pachika pachati, okay, pachika pachati sounds good, but pakashalam pachati. So what is pakashala? Pakashala is the object here. So if I say, if you see pachika pakashalam pachati, it means that she is cooking the kitchen. Kim pachati pakashalam pachati, and which cannot make sense, and therefore this sentence is wrong, and therefore it is the answer for this one. But let's go down the other ones so that we are familiar with how to go about it. So you have pachike. So pachike. So the moment you say pachi, you say okay, feminine akaranta. So pachi, then you see ke, which means it is a dvivachanam. So pachike, and then you see the verb pachataha. Okay, subject and verb are matching, as in they are in accordance. And then you have pakashalayam uttamam. So in the kitchen, pachike, the two of them are cooking. Then you have pachakau. So if you say pachakau, pakashalayam apachatam. Okay, so apachatam, again pachakau is pullinga. So because pachakau is pullinga, then we have apachatam is in the bhutakala. Astu. So pachakau pachatam, apachatam, and pakashalayam. So this is where I can show you that what I was telling you, because there is an apachatam, that's a vowel. So then you get a ma halant, pakashalayam apachatam. Whereas here, because the following letter is a consonant, vyanjana, therefore you have to put a dot for the ma sound at the end. Astu. Now let's move on to identify the correct sentence, and let's see if we can do that together. So bhavantaha balakaihi kridati. So bhavantaha is bhavan shabdasya bahuvachanam in the prathama vibhakti, and what is in the verb? Kridati. So it cannot be. So this is a wrong sentence. And what is the answer? We have to try and identify the correct sentence. So immediately, so when you are when you have these correct and wrong things, the first thing you need to do is to identify this, get the subject and see if the verb is matching. If the verb is not matching, that sentence is automatically wrong, and then so you don't waste your time on that. So when you have to identify the wrong sentence, that is your answer. If you have to identify the correct sentence, that is not your answer. So that's the first place you would stop. Then the next thing you look at is you look at the other cases that are there in the word. So here we have bhavatyau, which means two of them. Then balakayoho. Kridataha. So the meaning, so like I said, Sanskrit is a lot about the storytelling and making sure you have the correct picture. So Bhavatyau, the two of you ladies, Kridataha. So yes, these two are matching. Balakayoho. So Balakayoho is in the Dvivachanam for the Shashti and Saptami. So Balakayoho, in the two boys, it doesn't make sense, and therefore it's a wrong sentence. Or Balakayoho, of the two boys they play. Could be, but if the sentence is just that much, then it's not a very cohesive sentence, and therefore this would not be an answer. Then you have Bhavati Balikabhihi Kridishyanti. So Bhavati and Kridishyanti out, because it is a Bahuvachanam verb and an Ekavachanam subject. So that is out already. Then the last one, Bhavatyaha Bahuvachanam. Here of course by elimination it is automatically the correct answer, but then you have Bhavatyaha Balakahi with, so Balaka, it is matching. So Balaka Pullinga Tritiya Bahuvachanam Kridanti. So Strilinga Bahuvachanam Kridanti goes, and therefore you have the correct option. Astu. So what I basically wanted you to do is that when you are faced with these questions, the first thing you do is to try and match the subject and the verb. So even if it is a translation, even if it is a saying that translate from singular to the plural, masculine to feminine, watch out for this. Watch out for the subject, watch out for the verb first and foremost. If that is correct, then examine that sentence a little further. So we have 4 options, and we've tried to make it interesting. So it will not be a walkthrough examination, but I think that is what would make it interesting for you to attempt. Astu. So I'll just take the opportunity of being on this to also show you about that ng thing. So if you, like I said, if you have ankani, wait, I'll take another word. I'll take the word Ganga, let's say, just to keep it short. So Ganga. Why? Because you have G plus A plus so we don't know what this one will be, okay, plus G plus A. Now the doubt is what happens to this, which one will it be? So you have to look at the next word, next letter, and because it is a G, therefore it will be an there. Astu. So it will then be Ganga in that. So G, Ga. So every nasal you would have to look at the next letter to know that. Astu. So going back to, I hope you followed that much. All right. So I'll try and just get back. Yeah, there we are. So now I would like you to, Shantanu Mahoday, Bhavatah Prashnaha na militaha santi. So could you please ask me the question now, if you don't mind? We have not somehow been able to find the question. If you don't mind, either way, because your questions are there, we will also answer them on the WhatsApp, or we'll answer them on the forum as well. But if you don't mind asking your question here, that would be very helpful. So, Pakashalayam Uttamam. Astu Manasji, how do you pronounce them? Could you find my questions? Nay Mahoday, could you please ask some questions here?
Aham na praptavan. Shamyatam.
Kshamyatam, we somehow, I think there was a mismatch and we did not have access, but Yadi Bhavan WhatsApp Madhya Preshayati, we will definitely answer that question, those questions for you. Astu. So we are almost running out of time now. So if there's anybody else who would like to ask any other questions, I hope the lessons were helpful for your exams. So feel free to let me know if you have anything else. Shantanu Mahoday, Bhavan Tatra Asti Kim? So if there's anybody else who has anything else, but anyway, what I just wanted to share with you as we will be closing is that Mariya, that is very helpful on what Uttamam. And I just want to add that the same thing works for the sh letter also. Which sh? Will you use the sh, sa? You have to look at the next letter. and depending on the group, the pronunciation group of that letter will determine which sh you will have. So, if I say ashta, it will necessarily have to be the murdha because the t is a murdha sound. If you have asti or astu, it will necessarily have to be a dantya sa because it is followed by a t which is a dantya letter. Similarly, if you have another one which would be ashcharya, it will necessarily be a talavya because you have a ch that follows it. Astu. So, we have atra kaha vadati. Neelakantha Mohoday, would Piyusha be giving a WhatsApp link now? Kshamyatam. Astu. So, Ved Narayanji, Dhanyavada, Mahan Santoshaha. Shantanu Mohoday, Bhavan, yes, iti uktavan. Would you like to just ask the words and I will pronounce them out for you just now because we are running out of time. So, it would be great to if you could just share the words briefly, some of them that are important you feel. How will we pronounce Brahma? This is a very important, interesting word. So, traditionally the word Brahma is pronounced as the Brahma. So, in tradition you will often hear that. So, you will say Brahmarpanam Brahma Havihi. Now, my take on this is that the word Brahma, my take on it is that the sounds of the Sanskrit letters are the Sanskrit words are very systematically organized. I do not see why they would suddenly swap a sound and retain that as a pronunciation. So, if you have Brahma or Brahma, I would believe that the pronunciation should be Brahma, and that is what I do. But like I said, the traditional schools would tend to pronounce Brahma, and that is a parampara in itself, and it is a valid parampara in itself. But if I had to give you my thought on it, I would suggest you try doing it as Brahma. In fact, if you do Brahma and you do Brahma, the feeling is very different, the auditory experience is very different, because Brahma comes from the root brah, which means to expand. In fact, Brahman is not a being somewhere out there in my understanding. Brahman is that state of an absolute expansion. So, when one is in that expansive, that absolute expansion at all levels is the experience of Brahmanness, if I can say. So, you say Brahma. So, Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati. So, the knower of the Brahman becomes the Brahman, and you say Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati is a very different experience phonetically, I mean phonologically as well. Okay, so when you're pronouncing it, two completely different experiences. So, I am afraid time is running out. We will stop shortly. So, Balaha Karoti. Mahoday, Shantanu Mahoday, I just wanted to mention that one has to be a little careful about the V and the B. In the Bengali tradition sometimes and the other eastern traditions there can be a confusion, but this I guess you were saying Balaha, which is a labial B. The V is very often a dental V. So, it is a dantoshtya. So, you have Balaha Karoti, Balak Karoti. So, wonderful. That is those are the two exceptional ones where the Visarga is followed by a K or Upapadmaniya. It is known as the Upapadmaniya. So, it becomes Balak Karoti. So, Balak Karoti. It is again a phonological thing. So, if you say Balah Karoti, it becomes Balak Karoti. So, like a double K almost is sounded there. On the other side, you have, that is not the Upapadmaniya. The other one, the Upapadmaniya is more with a P, where you have Purnamadah, Purnamidam. So, Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, it becomes Purnamadah, Purnamidam. So, that F, the Visarga turns into a F, Dhiyo Yonaf Prachodayat. Okay, that is important to understand, that if the Visarga is followed by a P, it becomes a F. If it is followed by a K, then there is a slight doubling of the K sound, half K and that. Taruf Phalati, Satyam, Upapadmaniya. Yeah, Jifa Mulya, Dhanyavada. That was a technical term for the Visarga followed by a K. You get a Jifa Mulyam, which is a double K kind of a sound, whereas the Upapadmaniya is a Taruhu Phalati will become Taruf Phalati iti. How to pronounce them? I hope, Mahoday, that was clear. And similarly, ahvanam. I would say ahvanam and not avvanam. In fact, I find it very difficult. You can't say avvanam. For me, it's much easier to say ahvanam, ahlada, not alhada. But like I said, tradition has it that way, and it is another way of doing it. These are Visarga Sandhi. Satyam, 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 Mahodaya. As you said, wonderful session. Savitri Bhagini, Dhanyavada very much for your encouragement. So, I would like to thank all of you. Bahu Dhanyavadaha. The classes have been great fun, Mahan Santoshaha, and good opportunities to learn from you as well.
Editing.
Just one last thing before I close here is that there has been, in lecture number 33, there has been an editing mistake on our part in the PPTs and the video that we have sent out. So, the Tudadi Gana is the 6th group of verbs. Okay. So, when you move on to the slides like slide 4 etc., there has been a slip, an error on our part, where you will find it as the 5th group. So, I will be mentioning it below the YouTube itself. It is a big error, but it is there now. Alright. So, with these few words, I would like to say Bahu Dhanyavadaha and Mahan Santoshaha, Uttama Anubhava Asit, Punar Milamaha and Parikshartham Bahu Shubhechaha.
Dhanyavadaha.
And Dhanyavada to Piyush also and to everybody. সাড়ে ছটায় আরে আপনি আমাকে তো বললেন